Hey, buddy, I appreciate you, and it's a beautiful morning. It's nice, 70-something degrees. You can't quite tell yet, but the sun is about to arise. That would be the eastern sky, even now, this early in the morning. It's beautiful. Because we're talking about Lake Claiborne. This is a watershed, a reservoir that was created, as a lot of them were in the 1960s, basically as water supplies, but boy, has it been a boost and a blessing to Claiborne Parish. In fact, Chad Reeder, you would say this would be the economic engine of this whole part of Claiborne Parish, right? I mean, this drives taxes, recreation. Thousands of people live along the banks of this body of water, like you.
That's correct.
So, boy, what a blessing this has been. And now recently, 8 years ago, and you're with the Watershed Commission, Lake Claiborne, you guys had an idea to enhance the fishing in this lake. Started to do something with a fish that I had never heard of called the tiger bass.
That's it's actually the official term or name is the F1 tiger bass.
Okay.
And we get them out of a hatchery, American Sport Fish, and they're out of Alabama, and they have the patent on that particular fish.
Okay.
And it took several years for them to derive that fish, put them in different vats.
They genetically bred them to be aggressive.
Okay.
Correct.
And that is the selling feature of the tiger bass. It's a willingness to bite an artificial lure time and time again.
Okay. And but it was a little bit of a step of faith. You weren't sure if it would work. 80,000 a year, right?
That's right.
Plus some other fingerlings that they feed on.
That's right. The copper-nosed bluegill is a very good forage for the tiger bass.
Okay.
So we started, in addition to that, for the last 4 years, we've been implementing 25,000 copper-nose each year.
Okay.
And they have the ability to reproduce, several times a year. So therefore, that was the idea behind that.
All right. So you put them in, gave them something to eat, and 8 years later, what's happening?
Well, it's changed the dynamics of the lake, obviously. We have several tournaments that go on Lake Claiborne here, and I'm going to say around year number 3, we started kind of seeing a little difference, and it's just been growing ever since. When I say a little difference, the bag weight limits and things like that these tournament guys are bringing in, all of a sudden jumped up in double digits, and then it just started growing from there. And now, if you're not in the mid-20s, low 30s, and that's a 5-fish count.
Wow.
You're not in contention.
What's the biggest one that you've caught?
About 8 pounds.
Really? Oh my gosh. And here's what's amazing, and we're out of time. I'm going to finish with this. Chad, step right over there so they can see this beautiful lake in early dawn. About 10 years ago, Bill Dance, who's a legend in the world of fishing, in a joking way, but half probably truthful, said they ought to turn Lake Claiborne into a cornfield, drain it. And because of what they did with the Watershed Commission, they've instead turned this lake into one of the top fishing lakes in this part of the country. Good things going on, and we will be here, of course, all day for our final day of our community caravan on Lake Claiborne. Back to y'all. Good morning, everybody. Rick Rowe. This is why people love this lake. Look at it. My goodness, it doesn't get any more beautiful than that. Dawn, sunrise, that's the eastern sky. This would be Lake Claiborne in Claiborne Parish. And it is just gorgeous, folks. Wouldn't you love to have a camper or an RV or a home along this lake? Well, Mr. Reeder does. In fact, right over there, right behind Jeff, is his camper, his RV. And this is where you and your wife come on the weekends.
That's right.
You got to love it. Mr. Reeder is the daddy of Chad Reeder right over there. And it was Chad and the other folks involved in the Watershed Commission, Lake Claiborne Watershed Commission, that 8 years ago decided to put begin to inject tiger bass into this lake. Homer, you've been fishing Lake Claiborne for 50 years since you were a little boy. You've been a professional for over 40 years. Let's talk about what's happened to this lake in the last 10 years. Bill Dance, famous fisherman, at one point said, hey, you ought to just drain it, turn it into a cornfield.
That's true.
Now it's one of the top 10 lakes in this part of the country.
Yes, this ranked top 10. We've been fishing it over 42 years. I think the lake was finished in 1974.
Yeah.
and it used to take 8 pounds to win a tournament, and sometimes it was a 2-day tournament.
Wow.
But now, since we've been stocking the tiger bass, it is phenomenal. It's now taking 25 to 30 pounds to win a 1-day tournament. Night tournaments, 30 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
It's just unreal. We had them up. My clients had them up to 10.5 last year, and we still guiding full time too.
All right, tell me what the tiger bass is. What makes it different?
The tiger bass is a cross between the Florida bass and the northern bass. Okay. It's more aggressive and grows faster, feeding and everything, than the Florida bass. Okay. And they will do schooling action comes back just a lot easier to catch. Mean like your fifth wife, you know. So that's good. But I hadn't had that many yet, so I'm not sure. But I haven't had that experience. I don't know if you have. No, not yet, not yet. But and then we started the copper nose program, which is great because the copper nose can get as large in genetics as a hybrid Georgia brim.
And that's what the tiger bass feed on, is the copper nose. Okay.
Copper nose is all protein. Shad, we got shad out the bazooka up here for feeding. And those copper nose will true breed every year come back as a copper nose. Okay. So with all those programs, plus we got some grass in the back of the creeks now, and which is great. Lake Commission does a great job on controlling that every 7 years. They let it down, and it's one of the top lakes.
Isn't that amazing? 10. Yeah. And that's just for fishing.
Yeah,
I mean, even if you don't fish, folks, just look at this. Can you imagine waking up and having biscuits and sausage with this? Well, they do. Mr. Reeder does, he and his wife, when she's not working. This is one of the reasons thousands of people have lived along and choose to camp and have weekend homes along the shores of Lake Claiborne. I don't have to say much more than that, Brother Nate. Look at that. Wouldn't you love to wake up to that every morning? And that.
I sure would. And Rick, I'm just so glad that you are able to be there to experience that majestic beauty. And Brian and I are really glad that you're there experiencing for us, because we can only imagine the natural beauty.
And I'm going to bring some of these back to you.
No, you're not.
Probably not Brian, but some of this I'm bringing back.
Yeah, Brian says he'll take 2. But thank you, Rick. Great, beautiful scene out there, and it is a beautiful spot to say the least.
Speaking of hot, it is sizzling hot this morning on the shores of Lake Claiborne. You can just begin to see just a little bit of that beautiful, warm sunrise beginning to just break over the trees. This is Lake Claiborne, Claiborne Parish. My goodness gracious, we're having a little breakfast, some sausage and biscuits. And I want you to meet a champion, an Olympic champion right there. This is Mr. Reeder. He runs the 50 meter, the 100 meter, the 200 meter, competes all over America. He's got a whole slew of gold medals. And he lives here, or at least he's got a camper here on the lake, also lives in Ruston. But this is why people love this lake. There are campers and RVs and homes, thousands of them all along the lakes here. We're having biscuits this morning. This is Chad, that's Mr. Reeder's son. So we've got biscuit and sausage. Oh my goodness, doesn't get any better than this. I guess the only thing maybe better than this is fishing on this lake. Homer Humphreys, a legend in the world of fishing. And this lake has become famous again. It was originally developed in the 70s. You fished on it probably since then. It kind of went into a low period when the fishing wasn't so good. They started injecting these tiger bass 8 years ago, and now it's one of the top lakes in the country.
80,000 of them a year for 8 years. It can't help but get better, Rick. And then the copper nose, fantastic too. More and more food for them tiger bass to grow on.
Right.
The difference between the tiger bass and Florida bass. Tiger bass more aggressive. They will come out of the bag that people carry out, and they'll actually eat something where Florida won't.
Oh my goodness.
Same age Florida bass versus tiger bass. The tiger bass going to be a quarter inch longer.
Okay.
Now the tournament's 30-something pounds, 20-something. Yeah, heck, far on the weekend shootout, if you ain't got 20 pounds, you're going home. Watch Bill dance or something. You know, Bill told him one time, said, we need to drain this thing and plant corn. well, they had another plan for it. And, you know, this, I guarantee you, you know, it's in the top 10 of fisheries in Louisiana.
Southeastern country, part of the country.
That's correct. But it would rank number 1, 2, or 3 in the cleanest lake in the country because we got an average depth of 14 foot, where most lakes have the average depth of 4 foot.
Yes.
Swamps, trees, and everything.
Right. So if you're fishing, it's great, but if you're recreation in terms of water skiing or swimming, this is a clean body of water. It's better for those kinds of things, right?
Oh, it's a lot better for that, and plus recreation, that brings up the boat roads. Boat roads are marked at night.
Yes.
I'm not saying go run the lake at night, but it's marked. If you get in trouble, you can come right on back to the dock.
Yeah.
During the day, they've got ski areas down here towards the dam.
Yes.
And starting in October, November, it's also stays number 1 lake on crappie. It is unreal on crappie.
Okay.
There will be
Homer, I'm out of time. I trust you because this guy knows his fishing. I just want you to see even if, look at this. There's the sun just beginning to rise in the eastern sky over one of the most beautiful bodies of water in all of America. Lake Claiborne. Isn't that gorgeous, Brother Nate? Man, oh man, oh man. Good morning, everybody. How about that? That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Well, you got to move to Lake Claiborne if you're going to enjoy that, or at least spend some time here as we are on the shores of Lake Claiborne, Claiborne Parish, a place called Pleasure Point. I know why they call it Pleasure Point, Chad Reeder. Goodness gracious. This is fantastic. And this is your dad's, kind of his vacation home. His dad, by the way, is 85 years old, senior Olympian, won all kinds of gold medals in the sprinting. But we're talking about what you guys did on Lake Claiborne beginning 8 years ago. The fishing on Lake Claiborne, folks, had diminished quite a bit. You guys with the Watershed Commission said, let's inject these new fish called tiger bass. 80,000 a year, 8 years later, what's going on?
Well, it's really taken off, actually above expectation, to be honest with you. We had a feeling that it was going to be a positive impact, but it's really growing, Rick. But 8 years ago, we started introducing the F1 tiger bass to Lake Claiborne, 80,000 a year. Right. And for 8 consecutive years, we've been putting 80,000 in there. Little 2-inch fingerlings. And in conjunction with that, the last 4 years, we've been putting in 25,000 copper-nosed bluegill, introducing those to the lake.
And that's what the tiger bass feed on, so they grow. And Homer Humphreys, nobody knows fishing on this lake or any body of water in this part of the country more than you do. You've seen this lake dramatically improve in fishing, and the tiger bass is the catalyst of that.
The tiger bass is the whole trigger, the whole lake. If we're used to take 8.5 pounds to win a tournament up here, now if you don't have 20 pounds a day, you just going home and watch Scooby-Doo. You know, it's unreal. Night tournaments, 35 pounds, 36 pounds.
Goodness.
Lake record, what's the lake record, Chad? 13?
13 so far, and some change.
And one of my clients has got a 10.5 in there, too.
Golly.
So.
You were telling me crappie fishing is also very good. What's going to be going on? How many boats are going to be right over there very soon?
Hey, starting in about October, November, there will be no less than 100 boats over there when the crappie is biting. Wow. Drive up with your boat. If you don't see 50 or 60 boats out of, turn around and go back home because the locals are going to be out there.
And then, in addition to all of that, even if you don't fish, the natural beauty here, Chad, is incredible.
Thank you, Rick. And we also have a really nice state park, cabin rentals, a beach area, and things like that, you know. And for the recreational boater, we have it now where you can navigate safely from Lisbon Landing all the way to the dam, which is one end of the lake to the other, safely day or night, because all the pilings that we've marked all the major boat roads with.
Yeah, the state park is fantastic. Lake Claiborne State Park is fantastic. The lake is fantastic. And again, hats off to the Watershed Commission for having the vision to put those tiger bass in this lake. And that's one reason you're still working, right? Because those tiger bass, somebody wants to catch them, you have to you guide them. That's what Homer does. He guides them.
Social Security, Rick. Better than Social Security.
Amen. And we're all about to get on Social Security, no doubt about it. But folks, again, just take a look. There's few bodies of water in our part of the country that are any more beautiful than Lake Claiborne, and clean as well. Very clean lake, so great for swimming or water skiing. But it's gorgeous. In fact, there's a fisherman out there right now as we say goodbye to Lake Claiborne and hello to Brother Brian.